said since the order had been made, it means anything they did after that was null and void. Now, in this case, the order has been made after the congresses have held, after sale of forms and all of that. Does that mean then that the results of those congresses will still hold regardless?
What it means is that because the order is coming after that initial congress has been held, what the court has ordered is maintain status quo. Status quo is the state of things as at the time the court was making the order. So what is done is done. That doesn't assure you that what is done is legal because you don't know the full content of the suit yet. And you don't know the prayers that are going to be made before the court. What if it includes prayers like whatever was done without complying with the proper rules should be declared illegal? It means the case can still end up with the court making such declaration, and that will affect what has been done.
No,
that's how it sounds like something going in the same direction.
Now, those who have gone to court this time around are aggrieved members of the APC who paid money to the party's account, got bank tellers allegedly as evidence of payments, but were not issued forms. Now, I believe that these were also persons who were critical characters in the previous litigation as well, because the argument then also was that we paid for the forms, for the party congress's forms, and we were not allowed to be a part of the election. And I believe the court issued a directive that after annulling the previous congresses, any congress that was going to happen subsequently, those persons who had paid must be allowed to take part in those congresses without having to pay afresh. Am I right so far?
That is correct. I suppose that was why there was also an attempt to issue some funds in bulk, according to the facts that are viral concerning what transpired on that day. So I think you are correct, yes.
Now, talking about what happened, the more recent event in this matter, a fresh crisis is brewing, and this is from our news from sometime last week, late last week. A fresh crisis is brewing in Rivers APC as some supporters of Senator Magnus Abe are accusing the state caretaker committee of refusing to sell forms to them ahead of what congresses. Now, some of them told our correspondent they have been at the party secretariat since Monday, but have not been able to get forms, threatened that the what congresses would not hold in Rivers State if they are denied participation again. Let's hear what some of these party members or disgruntled party members had to say about their experiences this time around.
Those who are loyal to the Minister of Transportation, they gave them their forms in bulk. Now, those who are loyal to Senator Magnus Abe, who are more in numbers, we are here to collect our forms. They have made it very difficult for us since on Monday. They have come again. We are still going to resist them. I can those who paid just last week will collect forms, and those of us who paid since 2018 have not collected up to date. Look at the secretariat is locked. Every member of APC should respect the party constitution and allow everybody contest. If they refuse to grant our request, Congress will not hold the River State.
Now, recall that the Supreme Court in its judgment held that those who bought forms during the 2018 congresses but were denied participation should be incorporated in any new congress of the party without them paying for the new forms. However, responding to this, head of the Committee for the Sale of Forms for Congresses, Amina Gamawa, denied allegations that the Committee for the Sale of Forms is excluding some party members. Here's what she said.
I was under instruction to sell forms to everybody, and I sold forms to everybody. I rejected photocopy tellers, and I have no regrets because I'm following the rules of my party. And we gave them so many forms. We worked so hard in the night, and they deliberately did not come for good 5 days.
She said most of those protesting presented photocopies of their bank tellers instead of the original copy.
I gave them my guidelines. The condition is that these forms, the people must come with identification. And the identification, it should be either voter's card, name slip, or driver's license. We want to be sure that these tellers belong to these people. And then another rule is that you cannot come with photocopied tellers. Some of them called me and they were saying that I have excluded them, a whole local government. I said, I didn't give because of these photocopied tellers.
Okay, Barrister. So we have two scenarios here, or three or so. So Supreme Court says those who paid for the forms 2018 but weren't allowed to be a part of the congresses, when next you organize the congress, they must be a part of it, and they don't have to pay for fresh forms. You must give them forms based on their previous payment. Okay, party claims that we have no problem with that. We want to give them the forms, but we set conditions for them to get the forms. They must come with the original bank tellers, and they must come with identification as well. And party says those who are complaining did not meet up with these requirements. In spite of the Supreme Court's ruling or order on the matter, can the party still set further conditions for these persons to meet so they can get these forms and could have registered for the congresses? And if they did not comply with those conditions set by the party allegedly, can the party deny them the forms?
This is my personal opinion. The essence of identification is to be sure that the individual you're dealing with is the individual in question. But the question of whether or not they bought form and the veracity of the form they bought has long been settled up to the Supreme Court. So there is no question as to whether they actually bought form or did not buy form. I think that what could properly have been done is insisting on proper identification. We want to be sure that you are Mr. What are those names again? You are Mr. Musa, or you are Mr. Panem, or you are Mr. John. You bring your ID to show that you are the one, because the question as to whether Mr. John purchased form is one that is settled and it's not in dispute. So I think that if you disobey the directive of the court, because you ask for original tellers to be produced, or original receipts to be produced, you may not completely get away with it, because it's different from I ask that the particular persons that the court made the order in their favor should present themselves. The idea of original teller is to verify that they paid, and the issue of their payment or the fact of their payment and the veracity of their payment are not in dispute, because that is what has been settled up to the Supreme Court, pursuant to which the Supreme Court made the order. So you can only ask to be sure that it is the individuals in favor of whom the order was made that you are dealing with.
So is it possible that we're going to see a scenario where the courts will declare null and void the congresses of the APC again, talking about the recent congresses? In River State, that is.
If you unlawfully exclude persons who have a legitimate legal right to be part of a process, they are entitled to a legal declaration that that process is void and that you should repeat it and include them. Because the punishment for unlawful exclusion is inclusion. So yes, that's a legitimate expectation of the outcome of such scenario.
As it is with the constitution of most parties, if not all parties, any internal party affair, before the matter can be taken to the courts, must be addressed internally. Those who have concerns as to how they may have been treated must exhaust measures or steps put in place within the party, acknowledged by the Constitution, to resolve in those issues. And even the courts over the years have also upheld that as well. Is it safe to say then that these aggrieved APC members in River State have exhausted the party's mechanisms to address in this matter? Because you might remember the Congress is held just about a week ago or so. Could they have exhausted all the party's internal mechanisms before going to the courts?
You know, the Constitution made it clear and gives parties rights. By parties, I mean citizens or individuals, that where your right is violated or is about to be violated, that you can take steps to get judicial intervention. So the argument of exhausting party processes and all that is inferior to the Constitution. And if what is to be stopped cannot be stopped at the time that this stoppage is of value, then whatever other thing you are doing is an afterthought. So eventually the court will have to determine whether in the circumstance the party's action corresponds with the freedom given by the Constitution in such situation of exigency or not. But my question is, why, as a party that has just had the experience that was had the last time, why subject yourself to a situation where court is to determine a simple thing that you ought to have done like every other simple thing?
Why is the duration important? I have to go back to the distinction you made between the current situation and the previous one. You identified that the last time out it was about 2 years to the elections. This time around it's about 2 years to the elections. Why is that important?
It's important because it means contestations can end and those who are wrong and corrected by the court can take correction before the stage of electing candidates and submitting names of candidates. That's the distinction for me. So there appears to be enough time this time for the issues to be resolved to prevent them from making finally the same mistake they made last time that will exclude them from participating. For instance, if they correct themselves next week, they will reconduct what they have to reconduct. They have all the time in the world to reconduct it and do the proper thing and move on. Or if the court determines otherwise, they still have enough time to do what they have to do and legitimately submit legitimate candidates. So that's why I think the 2 years gap is important.
It is #91 913 Nigeria info here in Port Harcourt. 28 minutes gone past 4 p.m. and at the moment we're discussing the crisis that's brewing in Rivers APC over sale of forms for what Congress says that took place within the state. My guest is Barrister Ritchard Wokocha. We'll take a quick break. We'll return shortly. Conversation will continue. You're very welcome to join in when we return from the break by the usual platforms. Do please stay with us.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001.
Top of the hour, every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info. And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dion.
Welcome back. Still has Factor 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dion. 25 minutes ago before 5 o'clock. The news update is up at 5. But discussions continue now. Still joined by my guest via phone, Barrister Ritchard Wokocha. Barrister, you're welcome once again.
Thank you, Dayo.
And we're discussing the crisis that appears to be brewing within the APC, talking about some of the issues that reared its head in the build-up to the 2019 general election, still rearing its head again over still of forms for congresses of the party within the state, which held, by the way, about a week ago. Your thoughts are welcome at this time. The numbers are the same line, 0817 923 0002 or 0003 0817 923 0007. Also, we are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, and as well WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Do not forget, we're also live on youtube.com/Nigeria Info PH. Just search for Nigeria Info PH, of course, on youtube.com. So, Barrister, based on your estimations, if the party continues along this trajectory of not allowing these persons to get their forms, register, and by the way, that means that the party would have to annul what happened about a week ago. You're saying if that does not happen, then we might experience a repeat of what happened in 2019. Is that an appropriate summary?
Yes, if the confusion continues to the point where candidates should be chosen and it's still unresolved, they could end up the same way or end up the Zamfara way, either of which is the same. Legal exclusion from the process.
All right, before going to the phone lines right now, I've got a few messages over here. Caleb Ambinoye goes, I wonder why PNB can't call Rotimi Amechi and Senator Iben close to a meeting and make sure both parties should end this war. Henry Onoa goes, Barrister, I know you are not the judge, but something clear about how someone that paid for form in 2018 can be identified without presenting valid ID card, an original bank teller, because Supreme Court didn't give them identity during the judgment. And from what you said, it means based on the Supreme Court judgment, everybody should go and collect form without valid identification. Henry, I'm very certain that's not what my guest said. Barrister Wokocha, do you want to clarify on that issue?
Yeah, I did emphasize that what would be reasonable would be to insist on ID, providing a valid identification. That would be consistent with the order of the court. But insisting on original receipts where you have identified the person to be the actual person in favor of whom the court made the order would not be a reasonable ground for disobeying the court.
All right, we go to Ezra from Eagle Island. You're welcome. Please go on.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Well, to me, I think it seems like the APC is yet to learn from what happened to them in 2019. Because even if you want to be sure that, okay, those that pay money in 2019 for the form and they were not given the form, nothing wrong with the party. Okay, let's go to the bank and get the bank statement, gather all their names. Then they put that pay money into the party account. Then what they need, like the bank says, is that come with the identification. Your name is already with us there. Your name is the bank statement. Okay, come with ID. Just any check identify yourself. Yeah, this is your name. Finish. But there is the issue of bring bank teller. You pay money since 2018. Then you just want someone to keep the blessing. To me, it's not necessary. So the mistake that the party make is that before the Congress, they could have gone to bank, get the bank statement, then get their name, then tell them, come with your name and education, then okay, take your form and go. We said that they bring a photocopy of this and they reject it. To me, well, they are here to learn from it, and then anything happen, they should stop. My problem is that if it happens now, in fact, before those went to court, they have already started blaming PDP, that they are done, that behind everything. So to me, this one now, they should try to do the right thing now before they start blaming PDP again.
All right, you're welcome. Esther from Go Ahead.
Yeah, Adedayo, good evening.
Go on.
I want to point out 2 or 3 things about what you have said. First of all, I think it wasn't very clear about the issue of identity when you asked him that question, because the lady, the clip is played there. When the lady kept emphasizing that she said they should bring a means of identification.
And my guest did say that yes, they should be able to identify themselves. He said so.
Okay, now let me go to the other aspect. In that Supreme Court judgment, it was clear there. Supreme Court also stated the party has to use her internal mechanism in resolving issues. It's part of that judgment. You should pick up that judgment and read it if it's there. Because you ask your just a question about the people resolving the internal mechanism before going to court.
So Esther, a question. Did these persons in 2018 did they employ the party's mechanisms to the satisfaction of the Supreme Court?
No, that's why the court now says use internal. What part of the judgment was to use the internal.
So Esther, so what you're saying is, Esther, just calm down. So what you're saying is, by extension or by implication, what you're saying is that in 2018 they did not employ or they did not utilize the party's internal mechanisms Supreme Court identified that, but still went ahead to deliver judgment in their favor, right?
Yeah, what I am saying.
That's exactly what you just said, Esther.
That it was not maximized. And they said using this
so you're repeating what I'm saying, Esther. You're simply repeating what I just said. So what you're saying is the Supreme Court identified that they did not fully maximize or utilize the party's internal mechanisms, but still went ahead to deliver judgment in their favor. That's what you're saying. Am I right?
Then I don't know how it goes. But hold on, please. Let me ask my question.
No, is that what you're saying?
Let me ask my question.
No, I asked you a question. You have to answer my question, Esther. Is that what you just said? Then you can ask any other question you want to ask.
What? That if the Supreme Court gave judgment in their favor, even after identifying that the internal mechanism was not utilized.
According to you, yes.
Probably.
What do you mean probably? It's yes or no?
No, that you're probably. You can't compel me to say that. Probably.
No, it's not. I'm not trying to compare to see anything. It's very simple, actually.
I didn't give the judgment.
You're the one who is paraphrasing the judgment. Anyway, go ahead with your other question. What's your other question?
This is my question. That Congress was held on Saturday. Yesterday was Monday. There was already a court order. At what point was internal mechanism utilized? Was it even initiated before going to court? Number two, if you say, because you're just saying there was an expert word you used, that list of identification is inferior to the Constitution. So even your guest goes to
Esther, there is no need for you to you're absolutely wrong, and you're misrepresenting. In fact, you're absolutely falsifying what my guest said. My guest did not say. Can you calm down a moment, please? I will have to end this call if you don't calm down. All right. Now, my guest did not say that identifying yourself is inferior to the Constitution. I remember when my guest mentioned the reference something being inferior to the Constitution was when I asked him about the issue of internal mechanism of the party, utilizing that before going to courts. And I did respond by saying, yes, the Constitution identifies that, but the courts also, and the Constitution says, if somebody violates your rights, you have the right to go to court. And what any party's constitution about internal mechanism is inferior to the Constitution's position on that matter. Am I right, Barrister? Was that your position?
You're correct. I think we should probably just make this clear. What I say is of no consequence for what will happen at the end of the day. It may coincide, it may not, but it is my opinion. What our scholars say is equally of no consequence, the same with what you say as a radio station. What we are doing is analyzing the situation and asking ourselves the question, have things been done properly, and what could possibly happen over this? If an act took place on Saturday or on Friday, or denial to give people forms took place anytime between Monday and Friday is the last day, and as at Friday it's not given, and they take steps on Friday to prevent themselves from being shortchanged on Saturday, they would have acted legitimately, and they would have acted in accordance with the Constitution to prevent what is about to happen. But what the court makes of it at the end of the day is strictly what the court thinks. And I think issues are being mixed up. What case did the court decide that party mechanism should be used in resolving issues? Is it your Bubula case, or is it the earlier case? Because there was no dispute. The court's position with respect to the earlier case of unlawful exclusion of party members who passed form was clear, and there was no dispute over that. So I think in analyzing, we should look at the cases we are talking of and what exactly was the issue before the court. There was no question at all from the angle of the court as to the legitimacy of the exclusion of legitimate members who had acquired the right to participate in the process.
Via WhatsApp, let's see. It's obvious that the order granted is nugatory. The order came late. You can't stop a concluded act. The status quo antebellum to be maintained here is that nothing should be done to tamper with elected officers. Word excuse arising from unchallenged simultaneous congresses from across the 319 wards of Rivers State. What is happening in Rivers APC is that Senator Magna Sabe is working with the government to frustrate the APC Acho Omodo Esquire said that. And Barrister, do you agree with that position?
Well, that is not talking about the law, but if I was to suspect anybody of working with another party or the party that benefits from problem in the party, I think I will accuse the person who is ensuring that the party is unable to make progress.
No, not the latter part. Not the latter part as to who is working with whoever to frustrate the APC.
Okay.
The earlier part, this person is
the earlier part as to
saying that the order came late and you cannot stop a concluded act.
Yes. What actually needs to consider is what exactly is before the court. The order was the preliminary step taken to prevent the damage from being completed. So what exactly is before the court? And what is going to be the consequence or the outcome of that suit, if that suit is proved? You haven't seen it, I haven't seen it, but suppose what is there is declared that it is wrong to exclude us and make an order that we should be included. It will not make any difference that the action has already taken place, because that action will be nullified. This order is with respect to, his argument is with respect to the fact that something has already taken place and the one that has taken place is not affected. And I said that earlier, but I said it should bear in mind that that may not be the only thing before the court. That was just a safe measure to prevent more wrong from being done. What is the suit before the court, and what is going to be the outcome of that suit? Is it likely? Are they likely to succeed? Are they unlikely to succeed? And that's where the issue of exclusion and the legitimate and illegitimate exclusion comes in.
All right, via WhatsApp, Diary Good Day, APC has just started what denied them participation in 2018, I think you mean 2019 general elections. They should be careful not to repeat the same mistake in 2023 because Rivers State needs strong opposition. AGF4 from Mouth3 sent that. Or still via WhatsApp, all those hoping that Rivers APC will be excluded from the next election using the courts again are wasting their time. APC will overcome all legal obstacles and triumph to the disappointment of opposition and their collaborators. That's from John. Barrister, we had narratives or rhetoric like this in 2018 that nothing will happen. APC will triumph over everybody. The enemies have started the game. We will overcome them by the power of God. We will we will see they are behind. But is that rhetoric necessarily going to help in any way?
No, without doing the right thing, it's not going to help. As I said, I pointed out that they have time to correct themselves or to get corrected by the legal process. They have enough time for that to happen before the election. So hopefully all of these crises and their disagreements will be concluded one way or the other, either that they correct themselves or they get corrected. So there is time for all that to happen before the election, which is why I said the fact that this is happening 2 years before the election makes a clear distinction from the last scenario. But that is the only thing and the only assurance that things may not end the same way. The fact that there is time for either them to voluntarily correct themselves or for them to be corrected by the court.
Well, as a comment of WhatsApp, the judge shot himself by signing August 2, 2021, and our status quo be maintained. That's Shagun from Port Harcourt. Now, you've explained this severally, but maybe Shagun didn't quite get it. So let me rephrase the question from Shagun's perspective. Does it matter that because the issue Shagun is raising right now is that this order came after the congresses have taken place? Does that matter at all, even though the judge says status quo be maintained?
It doesn't matter. The reason it doesn't matter is that if you understand that status quo being maintained means that from the day that the court makes the order that status quo should be maintained, it means you still can't do any other thing. And if you don't do any other thing until the case is concluded and the court announces what you have done previously, what is the benefit you have gotten? You are back to status quo, which is that you have done nothing.
What could the court be trying to stop by asking them to maintain status quo in spite of the congresses that have taken place already?
But I believe that the procedure was already before the court. The procedures have been filed, or the processes have been filed, at least by Friday, for the court to hear it on Monday. And so if that did happen, the prayer in the process will be the prayer in the process. And whether or not Congress has taken place, the court still had a responsibility to prevent them from continuing or escalating the crisis. And so it is appropriate for the court to say, do nothing until we resolve this issue. That initial Congress is not the only thing. They're supposed to have other Congresses. They're supposed to have local government Congresses. They're supposed to have state ones and so on and so forth. So it's not the only thing. There is no time that the order of maintaining status quo is useless. And what that also means is that by the time the court concludes what it is doing, it can also annul what has previously been done. So whether you are celebrating now or you want to celebrate later, it will still be of no consequence because the outcome, the final outcome, will be the same.
All right, via WhatsApp, Insanity is said to be doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. Amechi is about to plunge his party into another round of avoidable crisis by denying party faithfuls the right to contest for ward congresses after taking their money. I see another round of political harakiri. That's Henry from Port Harcourt. And still via WhatsApp, the barrister is not telling the truth on the matter. He's taking sides, and when it comes to answering questions, he will say it is his personal opinion. Always speaking for one side, the party sets the rule for the Congress and not the court. And if you fail to obey the rules, you're disqualified. Get your original receipt, and if you don't have it, you leave since you claim you bought the form. Provide your original receipt. This is a different case from the last one. Okay, well, if you say my guess is always is wrong, and he's supporting one side, and it's simply expressing his personal opinion. Well, his personal opinion was exactly what the courts aligned with the last time around. I just thought it very necessary to remind you of that. Even the Supreme Court agreed with him as well. And no, not you. I was just making a statement.
Okay.
Via WhatsApp, Professor Wokocha is very correct in his analysis. As long as CRA and Magnus continue in this mess of exclusion, that's a principle from Kalai Biama. So finally, Barrister, how can the APC salvage this situation before 2023?
The best thing would have been correct yourself, do what you are supposed to do, and move on with your life and plan for your election. A contest is not between APC and APC. The contest is supposed to be an inter-party contest. So wasting your time, dissipating your energy in-house, reduces your capacity to do something at the point of the inter-party contest. That should be for them to resolve themselves. But if they don't, then they should ensure that the cases go expeditiously fast enough for the contestations to end in time enough before submission of candidates, so that they can now take correction from what the court orders them to do and do whatever they have to do and ensure that they have candidates that will be able to participate.
Barrister Wokocha, many thanks for your time. We have to wrap it up on that note. Thanks for joining the conversation. My guest is former chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Amok Branch, and an associate professor of public law at the River State University. Barrister Ritchard Wokocha, once again, it's been a pleasure. We've got the news update coming out about the hour at 5 p.m. A commercial break before then. When I do return, what is the situation or state of things with students of RSHDA, those on overseas scholarships? When I return, please stay with us.